Hi guys, so we're on to the next chapter of Geronimo Stilton, The Volcano of Fire. This chapter is called The Volcano of Fire. We finally made it. So let's find out what's going to happen in the story. The volcano rose up from the ground, fierce and imposing. Immediately my fur stood on end. How did I get myself into these situations? I was scared out of my wits. Then, as I looked closer, I realized something even more frightening. Plumes of smoke were spewing out of the top of the volcano. That's strange, said Sterling. The volcano of fire has been dormant for centuries. Smoke should not be coming out of its crater. That's not strange, that's deadly, I shrieked, completely forgetting I was trying to act brave. Run for your life! I tried to run, but Sterling grabbed me by the tail. It's okay, Knight, Sterling said soothingly. It's okay to be scared, but we need to finish our mission. We need to find Sproutness and figure out what's setting off the earthquakes. I chewed my paw nails. I'm not scared, I stammered. I just thought maybe it might be a good idea to go for a run before we climb the volcano. You know, warm up the muscles a little bit. Thunderhorn put a hand on my shoulder. Don't be embarrassed, Knight, he said. It's normal to be afraid. Everyone gets scared, even the most courageous heroes. Even me, the king of the elves. But like my old weapons teacher used to say, the real hero is not the one who is never afraid, but the one who has fear and is able to overcome it. I realized my friends were right. I'd have to face my fears and keep going. Well, not all my fears. I was also afraid of the dark and giant spiders and the recorded message on my dentist's answering machine. The background drilling noises creep me out. Over here there was a little note. It said, even a hero can be scared sometimes. It is normal to be scared in certain situations. Believe it or not, everyone gets scared at one time or another. A true hero is not someone who is never afraid, but someone who knows how to face his or her fears. That's actually really true. I like that. All right, so let's find out what else is going on. Anyway, I took a deep breath as we continued through a dry, rocky valley. Here and there we passed puddles of boiling mud that smelled like sulfur, and in the distance we could see geysers shooting high into the air. I remembered reading about geysers in the Talking Library. Geyser, a spring of hot water that erupts periodically, sending forth columns of hot water and steam. I sat down on a rock to check my map and said, we're looking for some place called White Giant. I scratched my head. Do you guys see any giants? I asked. Then I heard a roar from under me. Oh boy. Suddenly I was lifted up into the air on a stream of boiling water and steam about 30 feet from the ground. Help! I squeaked. I'm afraid of heights. Oh boy. As if it had heard me, the steamy water immediately stopped. I fell to the ground, smashing my tail on a pointy stone. Smash! Youch! You didn't have to drop me so fast, I cried. Once again the geyser lifted me off the ground, then it dropped me, then it lifted me, then it dropped me. Up, down, up, down. This geyser couldn't make up its mind. At last Sterling yanked me off the geyser. You found the white giant, Knight, Thunderhorn observed. You were sitting on it. I rubbed my sore tail and shot the geyser an evil look. Over my shoulder, it gurgled playfully, almost as if it were laughing at me. Could this get any worse? I thought, and then it did. A second later, a terrible earthquake tremor shook the earth, throwing us to the ground. We saved ourselves by hiding behind a large rock. I want to live. I'm too fond of my fur, I sobbed, squeezing my eyes shut. I was so busy crying, I didn't realize the tremor had stopped until I felt someone gently tugging on my whisker. Knight, you can get up now. The earthquake is over, said a voice. Slowly I opened my eyes. It was Sterling. Oh, how humiliating. I stood up and dusted off my fur. Everybody ready? I asked. Thunderhorn and Sterling nodded politely. I guess it was obvious that the only one not ready was me. Okay, let's go, I squeaked, trying to sound brave. Then I led the way down a rocky path. I was just breathing in the fresh mountain air when suddenly we were hit with a strong wind carrying a cloud of gray ashes. Before long we were choking and covered in soot. When we spotted a clear stream, Sterling took off her armor and jumped in to get clean. Girls, Thunderhorn grumbled, until he caught sight of his own soot-covered reflection. A minute later he too was in the water. I decided to join them, but when I tried to pull off my tail cover, it got stuck. I pulled and I pulled and I pulled. Finally it popped off, but at the same time I accidentally kicked my bag into the water. Ugh! And then the bag just splashes. Oh, boy. Okay, so then the next chapter is different. The next page is a different chapter. First volume of Encyclopedicus Bookus. All right, so I guess we'll get to that next time. Bye, guys.